Jesse Lee Reno was born on June 20th, 1823 in Wheeling, Virginia. Now today, of course, that's Wheeling, West Virginia. When he was 7 years old, the family moved to Franklin, Pennsylvania. Now at age 18, Jesse got his appointment to the United States Military Academy at West Point. And from age 18 until his death at 39, he served in the regular army. He served in the United States military. He never knew a job in civilian life. Now, Cadet Reno graduated 8 out of 59 in the famous class of 1846. There were many other graduates of that class. Among them was General Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson and George B. McClellan. Now also a classmate at the time at West Point, an upperclassman by a year, was Ambrose Burnside. Now in the Mexican War, in the spring of 1847, Reno was assigned command of a rocketry and mountain howitzer battery. He had an artillery background, and he participated in several battles. Chief among them, the last battle that he fought in was at a place called Chapultepec, and he was wounded at Chapultepec. Now, for his service during the Mexican War, he was cited twice for gallant and meritorious conduct, and he was brevetted a captain. A brevet rank is kind of an honorary title, kind of an award. And he was 24 years old when the Mexican War ended. Now, following the Mexican War, he served in a variety of posts in the United States. For a while, he taught mathematics at West Point. Now, at the outbreak of the Civil War, Brigadier General Ambrose Burnside recruited troops and selected officers for what came to be known as the North Carolina Expedition. Now, Reno was selected by Burnside to command one of his brigades. The Coastal Division would have 3 brigades, and he was commissioned Brigadier General of Volunteers on November 12, 1861. By early January 1862, the Burnside expedition to North Carolina was on its way. To his credit, Reno established himself as one of the bravest and most promising officers in the Army. Reno's military career next takes place at 2nd Manassas. Now, Burnside's Coastal Division was redesignated the 9th Army Corps. Now, on August 12, 1862, Burnside was ordered by Lincoln to send troops to the aid of General John Pope. The forces incorporated into Pope's army consisted of 12 infantry regiments, 4 batteries of artillery, and 2 companies of cavalry. The infantry was organized into 2 divisions, and one was commanded by recently promoted Major General Jesse Lee Reno, and the other by General Isaac I. Stevens. 2nd Manassas happens over 2 days, from August 29th to August 30th. Now, on August 29th, Reno was in the heat of it. He was in the midst of the battle. He was ordered to send Colonel James Naugle's brigade into Confederate General Stonewall Jackson's center. Now, Naugle was repulsed with a loss of more than 500 casualties. About 2 hours later, Reno was ordered to commit his other brigade, that of Colonel Edward Ferraro. He was supposed to send it into the same location. Now, Reno, towards the close of the day, wanted nothing to do with another fruitless frontal assault, and what he considered a fruitless assault. And he actually traveled to Pope's headquarters and talked to Pope in person to protest the attack. Now, nobody knows what words passed between the two, but whatever Reno said seems to have worked. Pope canceled the attack. This caused one of Reno's infantrymen after the war to write, "We thank God that General Reno stood between us and General Pope." Now, at the close of day on August 31st, Reno's stubborn defense of Henry House Hill, conducted in person, prevented the Confederate attack from becoming a total and complete Union rout. And Reno walked the line in person, steadying his men. His tenacious resistance ensured that Pope's men were able to retreat to Centerville and with a secure presence on August 31st. Now on September 1st, there occurs the Battle of Chantilly, or Ox Hill as it's known, and Reno once again goes up against his old classmate, Stonewall Jackson. The Maryland campaign of 1862 saw Reno promoted from division command to command of an Army Corps. Now, this leads us to the Battle of South Mountain on September 14th, 1862. And once again, Reno and Burnside are very visible to the troops at the march to South Mountain. And by the end of the day, Reno is on the battlefield at South Mountain. He makes a point of congratulating the troops, and he begins with the Ohio troops, who are located about a half a mile south of Fox's Gap. And he rides north along the crest to the vicinity of Wise's cabin. This is around twilight. Shots ring out, and within an hour, Jesse Lee Reno is dead. Almost from the time of his death, there's been huge controversy as to, whose bullet killed Reno. Was it a Confederate bullet in the last attack of the day, which was conducted by John Bell Hood's division, or was it a Union bullet? There are stories of a friendly fire incident. And to this day, we have not been able to determine 100% exactly whose bullet it was. On September 14th, 1889, approximately 1,200 people, mostly Ninth Corps veterans and their families, gathered to dedicate the Reno Monument at Fox's Gap. The main speaker at the dedication was none other than Orlando Wilcox. And in his closing remarks, he said that Burnside missed him and perhaps needed him the most. Many veterans considered Reno to be Burnside's right-hand man. In his closing remarks, General Wilcox quoted a tribute from General George B. McClellan. McClellan actually said, "Be this his epitaph, a skillful soldier, a brave and honest man." Now, I can think of no better way to summarize the career of Major General Jesse Lee Reno, a skillful soldier, a brave and honest man.